friend. Welcome to the Fruitful Fertility Podcast. Do you want to better understand your body so you can get pregnant naturally? Do you find yourself up late at night Googling how to ovulate on your own or natural fertility tips? Do you feel lost on what your next step should be? Hey, I'm Tori, a registered nurse, Christian fertility coach, and your new TTC BFF. When I started my fertility practice, I realized how much the modern medical system was missing when it came to supporting women trying to get pregnant. I knew God had called me to this space to bridge that gap and provide more natural fertility support and education. With time and a little trial and error, I found a foundational way to assess infertility cases and get better results. In this podcast, you will finally understand how your body and fertility work, support to stay off that emotional roller coaster, and a proven strategy to improve ovulation and increase your fertility naturally. If you're ready to get started, drop those ovulation sticks and grab a pen because, girl, you look fertile to me. How many times have you said the words, "I've tried everything, I don't know what else to do"? Or maybe you've had that thought. Maybe you've made the dietary changes. Maybe you've taken the supplements. Maybe you've got the testing done and you're like, "I've done everything. I don't know what else to do." I have for sure been there. I feel like I am there in the personal development growth category right now. So I totally understand that sentiment. I even had someone in the Facebook community recently post about this. She listed everything she'd been doing and she was like, "I just don't know what else to do." And I knew this was a sentiment we likely all share, that you've probably been here too. And you're wondering like, "I don't know what else to do. Is IVF truly my only option?" And the answer is no. And what I want to do today is I want to walk through a few checklist items, a few steps that I want you to make sure you haven't skipped. Because a lot of times, and I say this with love, I say this to myself as much as I'm saying it to you, but a lot of times when we say, "I've tried all the things," it's not really true. Or we've halfway done certain things and not really done them all the way. We haven't stuck to things for 3 months. We just assumed something wouldn't work, so we didn't try it. Or these are things that I'm guilty of, and I'm hoping that maybe I don't want you to be like me, but that we're in this together. And so this is going to be a really kind of like methodical process for when you feel like you've done everything and you don't know what else to do, like you don't know what your next step is. And before I even get into these 6 steps, I want to tell you about a free resource I have for you. It's called the Fertility Checklist and Starter Guide. It is linked below for you, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a checklist of step-by-step what you need to do to kind of take an inventory of what you've tried and what you've done to make sure you haven't skipped any steps. Because very often I find that people are missing, especially the number one thing I'm going to go over. They're missing this step. Whether they've been trying 2 months or 2 years, they have not done this one step. So sometimes when you feel like you've done everything, you haven't done everything. So grab that checklist. That'll help you sit down and really kind of prioritize what you need to focus on and what you can work on. And then I'm going to walk through some steps today that are really practical to help you kind of analyze what your next step should be and what to do if you feel like you've done everything. Okay. Number 1, this is the most important one. This is the one everybody misses all the time, all day, every day. So if you're like, "Dang, that is me," I don't want you to feel bad because you're not the only one. But the first step is we have to make sure we have an egg and we have to make sure we have a sperm, that we have healthy sperm. And this is the step that I'm talking about most people miss. People wait and wait and wait to get their husband tested. And I don't know why, because guys, it's not all on us. It's not on all us. We are not making this baby by ourselves. This baby is made up of 50% your husband, 50% of his DNA, I don't even have all the fancy scientific words, epigenetics, all that stuff. But his sperm health determines the health of your baby. And so we cannot dismiss semen analysis and sperm analysis. A lot of times with women, especially, I know most of us here are dealing with unexplained infertility, meaning we don't really know what's going on because we have healthy cycles, healthy everything. But if you're someone who maybe has endometriosis, PCOS, history of polyps or fibroids or anything like that, or maybe even you just have irregular periods, you assume that you're the problem because there's this big red flag like endometriosis, irregular cycle. We just assume it's us, and it's not. And even if that plays a part into it, that doesn't mean that we don't still need to take account for sperm quality. So please, please, please do not skip getting your husband tested. If you want to get him tested, you can do that at home with me. All you have to do, I'll put a link below in the show notes. You can click it. You'll fill out a form with some information on it. I will then tell Fellow, hey, my buddy Sarah over here at 123 Main Street needs a Fellow test. They will send you a link to purchase and ship it straight to your house and send you the results. Now, I will also get the results as the practitioner, but you can do this at home. You do not have to go to the fertility clinic. You do not need an expensive doctor's appointment. You can do this from home. So no excuses. They don't have to go to a weird clinic, be in a weird bathroom with weird magazines and whatever else. They can do this at the privacy of your own home. And with an egg, you can use the Aneto. You can simply grab an Aneto, that will also be linked in the show notes, and this will confirm ovulation to let us know we do or don't have an egg. So again, easy testing, you can do at home. We cannot skip those things though. Do not skip semen analysis. I may have to say that 5 more times because I really want you to hear me, because it's so easy to do. It's so easy to overlook, but do not overlook that. Number 2, have you had an HSG and had like what I call physical roadblocks checked? So this goes back to like blocked tubes, polyps, fibroids, those kinds of things, because we can do all the natural stuff in the world. We can do nervous system regulation. We can take the supplements, but if there's a physical barrier, it doesn't matter. I want you to think of it like a car crossing a bridge. If there's a huge tree blocking the bridge, it does not matter if you wash the car, change the oil, get fast head start. None of those things matter. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that they're not important and they're not helpful, but you're not going to get past the tree just by changing the oil and changing your car's performance. We have to make sure there's no physical roadblocks. And so I do encourage you to ask your doctor for that HSG if you are, let's say, 6 months or more into trying and have not become pregnant. We got to make sure there's nothing blocking the way. Typically, you don't have any reason to believe that your tubes would be blocked unless you have endometriosis, you've had abdominal surgeries, but I did have a client recently, that's exactly what I told her. I was like, I don't have any reason to think that you have any blockages or polyps or anything like that, but let's just check it to make sure. And sure enough, she had a blockage in one of her tubes. Why? Don't really know, but she did. So don't skip that part. We have to make sure there's no physical roadblock. So if you're working out, eating right, taking the supplements, getting plenty of sleep, have you had an HSG to make sure your tubes are open? Because we have to have that done. Then this brings us to number 3. So once we have the physical components, we have a healthy egg, a healthy sperm, no roadblocks, no trees blocking the bridge, then we can kind of start to inventory our daily habits. I recently saw a reel where a woman was talking about how you don't need to be worried about seed oils if you don't even work out or get enough sleep at night or something to that effect. And I thought that was so powerful. It's so easy for us to gravitate to things like, oh, I got to avoid seed oils. I've got to go non-toxic. And all those are important. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying if you're not sleeping 7 to 9 hours a night, if you're not getting your protein every day, if you're not walking daily, then you don't even need to be thinking about those steps. So we really need to inventory our life and what we're doing and what habits we have built, because it is the habits that are going to change your fertility. And maybe that's a really annoying thing because consistency, I know, is not my strong suit. I'd be willing to bet it's not yours either, just because we're human. But the habits are what are going to make the difference. The little things you do every single day are what is going to help you get pregnant. It's what's going to bring that sweet baby into this world with God's timing and provision, right? Of course. But the habits are what change your health and what change your fertility. So I want you to inventory your habits. I want you to write down what you do on a daily basis. How often do you work out? How often do you eat whole foods? How much sleep do you get? How much water do you drink? These types of things. Because if we haven't kind of checked all those things off, we need to inventory them, and that's what we need to focus on. So instead of saying, oh, I've tried all the things, just because you started taking 3 new supplements doesn't mean you don't need to be drinking more water and getting more protein and working on your sleep habits. So, and you may do an inventory and say, I really am doing all those things. I really have done all the things that I can do. I've created all the healthy habits and all the healthy foundations I can. My next question to that would be like, have you done that for at least 3 months consistently? But that is number 3, to inventory your daily habits. You can literally brain dump. And I would want you to focus on, if you needed help with this, I would say sleep. Are you getting 7 to 9 hours? Nutrition. Are you getting 60 to 100 grams of protein and mostly whole foods? How are your stress levels? And those are a really good place to start. Start with those. And as far as exercising, if you're not exercising, just start walking. If you are exercising, I'm going to ask you to inventory it a little more deeply. Like, are you only doing high intensity cardio? Because when we're trying to get pregnant, we're trying to decrease our cortisol, decrease inflammation, those types of things. We really don't want to be doing high intensity cardio all the time. I've had a few clients that are runners, and I've had to ask them to really analyze, like, does running bring them joy? Because if it does, then okay, let's leave it. But if it's something you do because you just feel like you have to, or it's the quote unquote healthy thing to do, it's time to quit running. We do not need to be running. I would much rather you be walking and lifting weights. So again, that's inventory your daily habits. Number 4 is pray for God's direction. I think one thing that I'm really guilty of, or I know one thing I'm really guilty of, is like, I want to ask for God's help and God's provision in the really big things. Like, what college do I need to go to? Is this the right job for me? Is, sending my child to this school the best school? Like these decisions that feel really, really big. And I don't always ask him to come into the small decisions. I'm like, oh, I'll just do that on my own. But I want you to invite God and pray for God's direction in every step you take. Whether that is, how you're going to change the way you're eating, what professional you're going to see, if you're going to see, if you're going to come work with me and we're going to do HTMA, if you're going to go see a chiropractor, if you're going to go see an acupuncturist. I want you to pray about every single step, even if it feels small. We don't have to pray just like, oh God, should I do IVF or not IVF? We can pray, Lord, help me navigate my nutrition. Please lead me to someone who will help guide me in the way that is best for me. Please help me discern which supplements would be best for me. I want you to invite him in every step of the way. I have a 8-year-old son, and we're dealing with some issues, and I'm trying homeopathy to remedy that. Literally, remedy. I don't know if you use homeopathy. They're called remedies. But I've literally been praying about that. Like, help me find the right remedy. Help me know if this is the right path to take. Help me figure out where you would have me go, how you would have me support him. So just don't forget to pray for God's direction, even in the small things, the big things and the small things. Number 5 is to realize that what you need might be a tweak and not a jump. Sometimes we think, okay, I've been doing this for 2 or 3 months. It's not working. So let me completely abandon it and go a different direction. But that's not always the case. And even the thing I see most with my clients is like a very small tweak. I had a client one time, we were doing HTMA. She wasn't sure if she was ovulating, and we did her HTMA. I gave her her protocol, which was pretty simple. Like, I think it was just vitamin B, some probiotics, and one other thing. I can't remember, but very simple, like nothing groundbreaking. Like, here, we're just going to try some stimulating bees. We're going to add this probiotic in and this one other thing and see what happens. She was like, you really think that's going to, like, she trusted me, but she was also kind of like, you think that's really going to help me ovulate? And I was like, yes, I do. I really think that's going to help you ovulate. And sure enough, in 2 months, she was pregnant. So she didn't need to burn down all these other healthy habits, fertility boosting habits she had built. We just needed a tweak. It's not always a huge jump. So sometimes we get really defeated. We've been trying so long. We get another negative pregnancy test, or your period shows up again, and it's like, ugh, like you just had enough, right? You hit a wall and you're like, what am I doing wrong? And you want to do something completely different. But I'm going to challenge you to stay where you are. Keep doing the hard work you're doing. Keep building those daily habits, and just see where you might need to tweak it. Okay, well, how do I know how to tweak it? That's going to bring me to number 6, which is HTMA. Hair tissue mineral analysis will show us exactly how you can tweak your habits, your routine, to make it the perfect fertility boosting routine. It will tell me about your metabolism. It will tell me about your thyroid. A lot of you, I've seen everybody say, I've done all the things, my thyroid's normal, and then they come to me and we do HTMA and your thyroid is not normal. Almost never is a thyroid normal. Let me go and tell you, write this down, make a little note. Your TSH, that thyroid stimulating hormone lab that you get drawn at your doctor's office, needs to be around a 2.5 for a healthy pregnancy. So when your TSH is 1.5 and your doctor tells you it's normal, that does not mean that it is optimal to carry a healthy pregnancy. And we can optimize that. And it doesn't have to be a huge shift. It can be a small tweak. But we won't know unless we do HTMA, which shows me your mineral levels, what your mineral levels are doing in comparison to each other. If we're dealing with any heavy metal contaminations that we need to figure out. I've had people that have contaminations and we just have to filter their water or change the products they're using, and that gets rid of the contamination, which helps balance the minerals, which helps balance the hormones, and then all of a sudden they're pregnant. So HTMA is just so insightful. Again, it's another test you can do from home. We can do it together. I'll link it below. And it just helps us figure out, when you've done all the things, what we need to tweak, what we can tweak to get you the answers you're looking for, and to let you know that you are on the right path. Because I know sometimes one of the most frustrating things is not staying consistent in the habits or doing XYZ. It's just knowing if it's the right plan for you, if you're on the right track. You want to know that you're not wasting your time and your money and your effort, because you want to get pregnant now. You're ready now. You were ready last year. And so HTMA helps us see exactly what steps we need to take, what small tweaks we can make to really get us the results we're looking for. And the results look like a really cute baby that looks like your husband. So let's recap this really quick. Number 1, we need a healthy egg and a healthy sperm. Do not wait to get your husband tested. Hear me loud and clear. Do not wait. Do not wait. You can do that at home with Fellow. I'll link it below. Number 2, physical roadblocks. Have that HSG done. I know it's not fun, but let's just get it over with to make sure there's no tree blocking the bridge. That's what we need to know. Number 3, inventory your daily habits. Number 4, pray for God's direction, even in the small things. Number 5, realize that it may be a tweak and not a jump. We don't have to burn down everything we've built and go a totally different direction. We usually just need a little tweak from all the hard work we've done. And if you want answers to what that tweak could be, what you can do if you feel like you've done all the things, then let's do HTMA together. This is a 3-month program where I'm diving in with you. We're digging deep. We're getting answers. We're doing some testing. And you're getting a one-of-a-kind handmade supplement just for you. I work with Vicon, and we take your HTMA test, and we make your supplement blend just for you, which is really, really cool. So if you want more information about that, click the link below. I am ready when you are. Okay, guys, I love you, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If this episode touched your heart or taught you something, I'd be honored if you share it with a friend who could use the information too. And if you want to be the real MVP, then would you also take 30 seconds to tap those 5 stars at the bottom and leave a written review telling me what you're loving? It lights me up to know this podcast is really helping you. Don't forget, you're super cute and super fertile, so meet me back here next week and let's keep chatting and learning together.